going on, y'all? Mike Dangerfield here, licensed professional counselor, nationally certified counselor, owner of All In Therapy and Wellness. I have before me today the great Lamarcus Arsenio Thorn. Yeah, we're gonna spend this time talking about some of his accomplishments and some of his achievements, you know, through chapter 1 through 30 of his life. He has a birthday coming up, as far as I understand, the big 3-1. Tell the people when your birthday is. It's coming
December 7th.
December 7th.
Yeah.
So on December 7th, you will be 31 years old.
Yeah,
Man,
that's crazy.
That's over a quarter of a century.
Right.
That's 3 decades in.
Yeah, you're making it older.
I don't want you to feel too old. But hey, you know, life rolls on. So let's take an opportunity to just, process a little bit what year 1 through 30 look like, or as much of it as you can remember. You get this experience of what I get to do with men in therapy.
Right.
Men, if you're listening, come see me. All right. So tell me a little bit, Mark, about maybe some of the earliest memories you have. Where you can see yourself now and look back and say, man, even at that point, I'm the same person at the core. Any memories like that?
Oh, man. This is going to be a crazy story. I don't know why this is the first thing that popped in my head, but one of the things that I do, I have a technology solutions business.
Okay.
Where one of the things we do is audio-visual contracting. And so I remember, man, I don't remember what year it was, but I remember my brother, I was staying with my brother.
Okay.
He was keeping me, I was real young, and my dad had just got me some Christmas lights. And so, holiday season, that's big.
Yeah.
And it just finished raining. And he told me, do not go out there. You know where I'm going with
I
this.
think I know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. And so he told me, do not go out there and try to put those lights up. So I'm a kid, man. I'm being babysit.
Right.
So I did it anyway, or I tried to do it anyway.
Okay.
And so keep in mind, I'm young, so I ain't thinking all the steps before, so I went out barefooted.
Oh.
And it just rained.
In the rain.
Yeah, and so
In the
let's just say I don't have to tell you what happened, but whatever you're thinking could have happened, it happened.
Yeah, something off one of those holidays.
Yeah, so just thinking about that, man, I was even though it was raining, even though I was told not to, I was like, this is something that I wanted to get done. So that's what comes to mind.
Okay, yeah. So it makes sense. LLT is your technology business?
Yeah, LLT Technology Solutions.
Awesome. Whatever happened to your brother in that situation? No, you have to answer.
Yeah, well, no. So he laughed at it. I mean, it was he couldn't really punish me, so because he's a lot older than I am.
Okay.
Yeah, so he couldn't really punish me, but it just when I was telling him the story about what happened, because of course if you ain't known by now, I got shot. And so when I walked back in the house, it was like, I've never been shot before, so I didn't know what that was. And so when I came to him, I was like, man, I went outside and I started, and so, he just bust out laughing because he knew what happened. I had the lights in my hand and I just thought, so he just laughed at it.
So the $1 million question, y'all, is how long did it take before y'all told your parents about this?
Well, he's a lot older, so he didn't really say nothing.
Okay. So your parents might just be hearing about this for the first time when they watch this video?
They know about it. But it wasn't like, where he would have gotten in trouble. He wouldn't have gotten in trouble because he's a lot older, so he was kind of like that father figure in house.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that turned out well, because chapter 31 might not be approaching soon if it went a little worse than what it did, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of family, Mark, in the therapy world, psychology world, there's a lot to do about and a lot to talk about family systems and birth order, and so many theories are built around that, where you are in light of your siblings and all that in your family of origin makes a big difference on what life looks like for you. So let's talk about where you are in terms of the birth order of the family and how your family experience impacted your life up to now.
So it's 5 of us.
Okay.
Single mom, dad was around,
Mhm.
but he wasn't in house. So it was 5 of us. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. I'm the 4th, so I'm the baby brother.
Okay.
And then it's my sister that's under me. My brothers, my older 2 brothers, they're right around the corner from 50.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, but I don't know the exact number because they're so older than me. But
Brothers, if y'all watch, don't judge them. Don't judge.
they're so
That's your
older
baby
than me.
brother, you know.
And then so that's Rufus and Marv, and then Edmund. He's 10 years older. He passed. I want to say he passed in '03.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he passed in '03. He was right next to me, and then my sister, she's 4 years younger than me.
Okay.
So she's, I want to say, 26.
So you had a brother who was about 10 years older than you,
Yeah.
said, who passed away in '03.
Yeah.
How did that impact your life?
Man, I want to say I was 13. I want to say I was 12 or 13 at the time. I was old enough to understand, but I was old enough to feel it,
Okay.
but I was too young to fully understand how that would change, how that dynamics. I think even up until now, when I think about it, it still is like, man, this happens. It's just
Wow,
like it's just like one of those things where you're made up of 100%, and so that was a part of me that's makeup of me that
You won't get back.
won't get back, and I won't even. And you kind of think about it like how, if he was still here, like how would the 100% of me look like now, And so it just being the fact that he was next to me, and then also being the fact that he was the middle child. He passed at a pivotal moment of my life. I'm a preteen, getting ready to become a teenager, getting ready to start eventually a couple years go to high school,
Right.
Girls,
And you
just
want the
different
person
stuff like
closest to you to be able to give you the game, right?
Right. So, it just I always wonder like, man, what my high school would have been like, what college would have been like, even now.
Right.
Because he passed, he was in college.
Okay.
So I always wonder what my life would have been like if when I was going through those stages in life with him, or with him still being here.
Yeah. And that's important to know that, grief is a tough thing, and it looks different for different people. And so, at the age of 13, you're going through so many changes yourself in terms of adolescence, hormones, cognitive development, all kinds of things like that. One thing you don't think about at that time is death,
Right.
and, a loss that's permanent, so, to see where you are now, despite having that brother who's close to you, depart life so early, it speaks to the resilience of who you are and your family environment. Because unfortunately, some people, don't recover from loss.
And I'll say we are, we're still, even though it's been a while ago, we're still recovering.
Absolutely.
There's some things, there's some things that, it was a learning experience for me, watching my mom go through that. It's I would say losing a brother is nothing like losing a son. And now that I have children, to kind of I can't even fathom that. So for her to have dealt with that, it speaks volumes to her solidarity. It speaks volumes. She's the #1 soldier in my book, and will always be the #1 soldier.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You make a great point. To lose a son is one thing, but to lose a son at the onset of his life, he's in college. He's at the elevator door. He's pressing the button. He's not even getting in the elevator yet.
Definitely.
So, wow, that's tough, but that's amazing at the same time as you sit here. All right. Let's change the mood just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, 6 adjectives to describe who you are, from your perspective, or maybe from somebody else's perspective. What would you say?
Man, 6. You could have got it easy, maybe like 2 or 1, but not
6.
6. Okay,
You gotta do that work.
You mentioned resilience.
Okay.
So
So you take that
I
one.
will say, yeah, definitely resilient.
Okay.
I will say that I'm dominant. And that's not only coming from me. That's coming from people that's around me
Okay.
as well. So I'll accept that. you
Okay.
know. I'm dominant. I am a people's person. Very down to earth. That's 4, right?
People's purpose. Down there. Yeah.
Down to earth.
Okay, we'll say that.
I am definitely. I have a big heart.
Okay.
I have a big heart, and see, my 6th one would probably be adventurous.
Okay.
Adventurous,
Okay.
definitely adventurous.
Yeah. So y'all don't be too hard on him. I told him some adjectives. He did. We just went ahead and described it, but that'll work too.
You kind of threw me off.
That's part of doing the work, y'all. As they say, there's no strength without the struggle. There's no testimony without the test. So I can't let him make it too easily. Now, what he don't know, y'all, is that I reached out to his wife.
Wow.
I reached out to his wife, somebody who knows him better than he probably knows himself, and I asked her that same question. But I gave it to her easy. I said, what are 3 adjectives you would use to describe Pookie? That's what she told me she got. I'm just kidding. I don't know what she
I was about to say, I ain't never heard that. She must have told that to everybody else because I didn't hear Pookie.
Yeah, I don't know what she calls it. But here's what she said. She said spontaneous. Okay, she says, before I met him, I was a homeboy. I didn't go many places. I was fine with that. But when we got together, I realized how much I was missing out by staying in. So whenever the opportunity arises to try to go somewhere new, he's like, hey, let's go and do it. He's always ready to go, and I'm glad he got me out and about. So she's like, spontaneous. All right. Check. Okay. Eager. She said he's very eager. All right. So y'all imaginations can take y'all wherever y'all wanted to take y'all with that. But here's what she said. No matter the challenge or concern, by any means necessary, he's eager to help. He loves to make people happy and show them that anything is possible. Okay. I see that smile. Last but not least, she said he's a motivator. All right. She said, in so many circumstances, I would doubt myself or feel like certain opportunities were too much to handle. Right. What does he do? He put me out the LOL, but he's also right there, motivating and helping me along the way, boosting my confidence in my abilities. I've seen him do it often with other people as well.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it like this, man. You hang around birds, you're going to start chirping. That's just how I feel. So the person that's the closest to me, we need to be on board together. We need to motivate each other. So, if I feel that there's something that she can go to the goal, like she has some, I'm gonna nurture that. I'm gonna agitate that. Like that's just who I am, because if she makes it, we make it.
Absolutely.
If I make it, she makes it. So, we definitely want. I definitely want to continue to be in a situation where we pump each other up.
That's all. That's what reciprocity is all about. You
Definitely.
give it to them, comes back to you, and that circle just keeps churning. All right, y'all. So that was the warm up. Here comes the work. Y'all see he over here a little nervous and sweating just a little bit. I'm about to give him some tough questions. All right. So here's another question for you, Mark. All right, so as we look back at your life, right, this is us looking at chapters 1 through 30 as we prepare for 31. I want to get you to channel, yourself at previous points in your life. So imagine you at your 30-year-old self right now, at the cusp of 31, sitting in a room with the 25-year-old version of yourself, the 18-year-old version of yourself, and the 12-year-old version of yourself, right? There's no one who knows them more intimately than you do. So imagine you're in the room, you have an opportunity to talk with them one-on-one, right? How do you motivate them to prepare them for what's coming next in their lives? The 12-year-old, the 18-year-old, the 25-year-old.
The further we go back, the harder it is, honestly. I will say to the 12-year-old is Really, I can couple the 12 and 18, if you don't mind. Yeah, I would say the 12 and 18-year-old is stop playing.
Okay.
Knowing what I know now, knowing the characteristics that has crazily developed, recently or within the past, 5, 10 years, stop playing. Because if I wasn't playing then, I want to imagine what would be now. So I guess for the 12 or 18, or we just say the teens, so to stop playing. Yeah. So to the, you said the 25-year-old, right?
25.
25-year-old, I would have to say, at that time I just got married, getting ready to move, either getting ready or have moved back to Houston. Nice job. I would have to say, it may seem crazy, but slow down.
Okay.
I don't regret anything that has happened, but I look at things now. If you don't have a destination, you never know where you're going.
Okay.
At that time, I was going, but I didn't have a destination.
Okay.
I just got married. I moved to Houston. At that time, I felt like, I was on top of the world, honestly. But I wasn't putting things in place for the next 5, 10 years. I wasn't, asking myself, do you see yourself in the same place 5 years from now? Everybody wants to elevate. Everybody wants to move to the next level. I wouldn't say I was comfortable, but I was taking very good advantage of that level. It wasn't seeking to advance.
Right.
And so when it got to the point to where it forced me to advance, it was just like, okay, I'm at a crossroads now because I didn't prepare myself. So looking at it now, and I feel like because of that, I'm still recovering.
Okay.
So I would say just slow down
At 25.
and plan. Your work and work your plan.
Absolutely, that's some good stuff. And I feel like that was solid encouragement and solid advice, and that's good enough for anybody at those stages, right?
Definitely. Because man, like I said, I moved to Houston. I was still in the same field, but because I was in Houston, coming from Beaumont to Houston,
Right.
Yeah. And then so when you look at my compensation, that increased. Okay, I'm married now. Okay, I'm a married man. Fresh into marriage. I got this good paying job. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And when I look back on the things that I've done versus the things I've done in the past few years, to me it's like, wow, like look at what you could have done,
Right.
So I've always had this, this I don't want to say just this compact mindset, but there was a lot of things that I could have been thinking about, but that I didn't. So I didn't think about, even from the littlest as far as just savings. To be honest with you, at that time I wasn't saving anything. I got it, I spent it, I took care of my bills and took care of my obligations. After that, I spent it, and then I lived to work again. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that.
Absolutely.
And so, but when you
Young
think
with
about
money.
exactly, and then, but at the same time, I was working. That's it, and I was working in a field that I got in because I needed work, and I enjoyed it. I was in the shipping and oil and gas industry. I enjoyed it, but sometimes I got to challenging moments of, is this me? Is this who I am? But that was clouded. I never looked at that question because I was clouded with where I am. I was clouded with what I was able to do at that moment. And so I want to say 2017, I was relieved from that job. I was laid off, and that was just I believe that was a true eye opener.
Oh yeah.
That was true, and yeah, I lost my job, but the blessing in it was it forced me. It truly forced me to start looking at Lamarcus instead of looking at the right now.
Gotcha.
And when I say looking at Lamarcus is what can Lamarcus do to fulfill himself, take care of his family, not what can Lamarcus do for my boss. What can Lamarcus do for my company?
Yeah.
What are the traits?
To benefit everyone else.
Right. What are the traits that Lamarcus harnesses inside to make a way for my family, and not even just financially, but just emotionally,
right.
mentally,
Mentally,
and things like that, and
Spiritually.
and so now that's my mindset now. I just pray that I continue to that and continue to take advantage of that mindset, continue
Absolutely.
to harness and nurture that, because it's not always going to be easy.
Right.
I mean, I left my job, didn't have any money, but even in spite of that, I was like, you know what, either I can cry about it or I can flip this around.
Right.
And
that speaks to the resilience part, right?
Right. And
So-
now I'm not gonna say. Now I will say this: I'm not gonna say that it wasn't no tears.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't no, throwing air blows and just fuss,
absolutely.
it was all of that.
As we
and I
said,
feel-
the strength comes from the struggle.
Right. So
Yeah. And one thing I heard you say, Mark, and I think it's profound, and something that I often share, is that the aim is progress, right? The aim is progress, but progress is much better attained by choice than by force, right? When you choose to go the route of planning and putting yourself in a place where you can advance, it feels good when you accomplish it.
Right.
When you're forced to have to advance,
right.
The outcome could still be the same, but that process.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the air blows, the air
Right,
fighting, the tears, sleepless nights,
Right.
absolutely.
So back to the question of the 25-year-old, definitely, calm down, slow down, and figure out your destination.
Yeah, plan and prepare.
Because you have the resources right now,
Good stuff. Man, he said he was going deep, y'all. He said he was going deep. Here we go. All right, so our time is far spent. We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But one thing I like to do, especially with guys in therapy, because not a lot of guys get an opportunity to, experience celebration on a grand stage type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny when we're kids, we swear by celebration. Your baby, when she takes her first step, yay! She get her first tooth, yay! She uses the potty for the first time.
Right.
But then we go through life, as adults, and it's like, yeah, maybe we do something on our birthday. Man, we got married, whoop whoop. Anniversary roll around, we celebrate. Why don't we take the time to do more celebration?
Right.
So we're celebrating you right now, brother. This is chapter 1 through 30 of your life, right? So imagine yourself, grand stage, after the victory press conference. You won. Here's your opportunity to give your thank yous and your shout outs. Who do you thank?
First and foremost, of course, and I don't want to sound, but,
all praises.
but it's real, definitely. I want to thank God first and foremost, and reason because He has been with me through the ups and the downs, smiles and frowns. He has been that one that has, I've been in some times like, God, I want to do right, or I want to make it right, or I want to, go that way, but I'm struggling right here, so, he's definitely been that one to say, come on,
I got you.
Now that his hands is mighty, so, when he throw you in somewhere, you gotta, you gotta make sure you, survive and figure out what he's telling you. So definitely thankful for what God has done for me and what he will continue to do
Absolutely.
for me. I would say next definitely my mom, because She had, like I say, she is the number one. I mean, she is definitely a soldier. You know, she is watching her, just following her throughout my childhood. You know, especially during the timing of the death of my brother. Her still smiling. Her still, I never forget. And I hate to, if she's watching, I hate to kind of just dwell on this, but I remember when we were at the funeral, and it's her son. She was highly emotional, and I was too, definitely. I think at that time I started to get over the shocking and stuff, and seeing it, being there, it was just like I was a wreck. In spite of her being in the place she was, she looked over at me and said, "Baby, you can lean on me. You can lean on me." And I'm like, I'm young, but at the same time, I'm old enough to know
this is
like,
you, mama.
You lean on me, So I did, but just that speaks volumes,
Absolutely.
Especially looking back now that I have kids. I always say I want to be like my mom, in regards to her being so strong, her being so resilient. She did a lot of things, and if you asked her to this day what she did it for us. So definitely a big thank you to her. And then also, my brothers and my sisters, they also, they played a definite part. And a huge thank you to my wife.
Absolutely.
Definitely thank. I saved her for last because, we still running this ride together.
Absolutely.
And we still running. We still figuring out. But now I'm not figuring out by myself. I'm figuring out her. So with her. So, definitely thank you to her.
Yeah. It's a nice thank you speech.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you said it was a press conference, so I was like,
Support game strong. The support game strong,
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, in true fashion of a champion, giving this speech after his thank yous, he talks about what the struggle was like. What the process was like, the journey was like, to this point of culmination and winning the victory. So, 2 quick things that you learned in the process of from then till now.
Talking about just throughout the whole my life.
As much as you can remember from chapter 1 to 30. 2 quick things that you want people to hear about, what you gained in this process, or what's important.
It's never too late to get serious.
Okay.
And there's no such thing as a dumb idea. I know a lot of people say that there's no such thing as a dumb idea, but when you really look at that in context, our mind and our brain power is far beyond that we can even fathom.
I believe that.
And because we live in a society and we look at social media, we look at other people, and we look at other successful people, we figure, okay, because Mike is in therapy, Mike went to school for therapy, and this is what he did. That idea I just had in my head, I can't do that because I need to be like Mike. But Mike is Mike.
Absolutely.
And that's a lot of times we don't understand that, and so I've looked up to certain people and was like, I want to be like them, but at the end of the day, I'm not them.
Right.
I don't have the same experiences that they have. So to answer that question, you don't have the same experience as the next person.
Absolutely.
So figure out who you are and nurture that. Don't nurture nobody else, because don't nurture nobody else's qualities in you, because you all you're gonna do is keep running in circles, because at the end of the day, it's not you.
Right. That's good. So, it's never too late to get serious, and there's never a dumb idea.
Right.
I like it. All right. So you talked about how you got here. You talked about what you learned. What's in store? Chapter 31 and beyond. What can we expect?
Chapter 31, development, growth, new ideas, new solutions, turning ideas into solutions.
Okay.
That's my business. That's my business slogan.
Okay. Say it for people one more time.
Turning ideas into solutions.
I like it.
There's never a dumb idea. You know, there's always a solution to an idea, whether you know it or not. So that's why I am now.
Okay. So how'd this feel? I mean,
it was good, man. I definitely appreciate it for having me and for being on here. It was definitely during this time giving me the opportunity just to think and reflect and figure out how I got here and figure out what's next to come. I feel like now I have a lot of opportunities to run after. Now I feel like in regards to the next chapter is nurturing those opportunities, but also maintaining those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And when I say maintaining is, making sure that you're developing them, though, don't leave any behind, because those are your traits, those are your personalities, that's your fruits. So that's why I am now making sure that I continue to move forward.
Sounds like you're true to the advice you gave to the younger versions of yourself. Stop playing and prepare.
Yeah.
Stop playing and prepare.
Yeah, man. I always imagine, and I don't want to continue looking back, and but I always wondered, what if during that moment, what if I wasn't playing so much? I played a lot. A lot of it was because I felt like, I got this, it's nothing. And because of my resilience, I feel like, if I rattle, I just gonna get back on the horse and start moving, And if that keeps happening so many times in your life, you start to know, you start to know that, it's cool, it's gonna bug me a little bit, it's gonna bug me, I get it. So, but if you know that you're going to get into a situation that it might bug, why would you get into that situation? Or, why would you play around with that situation? So, definitely live your life, have fun, but also be serious about yourself and who you are and how you're advancing to your destination.
A nice balance of the work-life, play-life balance, right?
Definitely.
It can't be all work and no play. But at the same time, it can't be all about play.
No work.
Yes, sir. You got to put that work in.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Thorn.
Man,
this has been a pleasure. If you had to coin this, what we just did, what would you name it as?
30 chapters. 30 chapters. What's going on, everybody? First and foremost, thank you for everybody who has tuned in and watched this. Definitely a huge shout out and a thank you to Mike Dangerfield for allowing me here just to kind of talk and chat it up with him and kind of just discuss on just the 30 chapters in the past and also what to look forward to moving forward. Just a little bit about me and what I do. First and foremost, I'm heavily involved in ministry. I am a deacon at my congregation at my church. Also, I own my own business, LLT Technology Solutions, where we deal with technology services, whether that be computer repair, whether it be audio visual, whether it be website design. So that's just a little bit about what I do. Also, within that, I am a professional Forex trader. So just a little bit about who is Lamarcus and what is he does. But definitely thank you for tuning in, and also big shout out to Mike Sneed and his production for putting all this together, and definitely once again, thank you guys. Signing out.